Okay. We'll probably need to act on that then pretty soon.
Right.
Okay, I'll get you the information.
Thank you.
And I attended several trustees meetings around the area, Clay Township, German Township, and Jefferson Township. We also need to discuss, it's not on the agenda, the fire and EMS contract that we discussed at the work session, the zoning office assistant job, and Kristen for the car show and bicentennial event.
So, on the fire EMS contract, are we ready to...
Well, that's what I need to know from you guys. So I'm going to work on some station. And I know Miss Keaton called me today. They only meet one more time, and that's the 17th, and it has to be signed by then, or we have no contract. So, with the language that was brought up and changed, do you want to go ahead, do you want me to meet with her tomorrow and submit this language change and see if they'll accept it, or give us an extension?
And those are the language changes
That
we
was
discussed,
the
changing all to
and it'll be in the
May
work
to
session minutes that I...
If they're good with pressing, then we can press. I basically been doing a lot of research into the money that comes into the township, and I see this is going to be tight, really tight. So I'm already donating my salary from January through April to Brookville School. I'll be donating my May through December salary here at the township to offset the price of the money required for 2020, the gap that we have. I need to get with Rhonda on the details, if it can be pre-tax or post-tax, because that's a difference, obviously, in the amount. But the more I was sitting here thinking about, we're asking the residents to do a lot. I figured, I have the ability to do this, so hopefully this goes a long way towards people understanding that I know we all have to give, we all have to do something about this. So this is the beginning of what I'm trying to help the township with, and as long as everything is good to go with that, then whatever paperwork needs to be filled out or discussions that need to happen, I'm ready to entertain those.
Okay, so you guys are good with the language change that you had at the thing?
Yes.
And the mess up that they had, because they quoted us at $135,000, and it was only $132,000.
Right.
As long as those numbers are corrected.
So I'll meet with Sonia tomorrow, get that done. They have to meet with their council, they'll give us a new one, and then we'll get it signed.
Right.
Is that okay?
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
And then on Kate's job, I know I asked you guys, I made those changes. What's the cutoff date? How long do you want this to run in the Brookville Star?
How long have you guys done it in the past? I mean, average is 30 days, but do we need 30 days?
What did we do last time? What did you know? 2 weeks?
I think 2 weeks.
2 weeks is what we were in last time. Just to see what we did.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you guys are okay with that, I'll go ahead and type that up tonight, and then take it up there and drop it off tomorrow and get it in.
Sounds good.
And how else, besides the paper, are we going to publicize?
Well, I guess we can we put something on your web page? Your police web page?
I don't care to do it, that's what needs to be
No,
done.
that's fine. We can put it on Facebook or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can get it happen.
We just share it through our Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
Dissemination.
Send me what you want, and I'll send it off to be uploaded.
Just, part-time office assistant question. I'll get with you.
Okay.
That's all I got.
One thing about the fire and EMS, did you end up talking with the chief about the town hall?
Oh, yes, I did. I talked
Okay.
to Ms. Keaton, and with us not putting a levy on until later in the year, they don't want to meet until then.
Closer.
Like
Right.
September, October.
Okay.
which makes sense.
Oh, that's definitely. Okay.
And we could potentially do a town hall here without them if we felt we needed to discuss it with anyone further.
Well, what they're saying is if you have one that this early, people's gonna forget what they're telling you.
Well, yeah,
I mean, that's what.
if it, yeah.
Kristen,
And then-
partial with bicentennial.
Right, I would like to propose a resolution that we name Kristen, I don't know what last name.
Could you spell that, please?
SPITCNAGEL.
Thank you.
We met with and discussed with Kristen, different ideas, specifically a car show for our 200th anniversary celebration. And we talked about a location, looking for a venue, and we talked about the funding, and we talked about different methods of making this happen. Kristen is very experienced in doing this. She's done it before for Mauricetown, and she has people underneath her that have assisted her in the past. She's got a system that's worked. So I'd like to suggest that we put her in charge of that, to operate as a separate entity, reporting to the township, reporting to the trustees on a regular basis, and then financially, that money would come into the township after all is said and done in the form of a donation to the township. So that we're not having to put any money out and it's not funneling through our accounts or our fiscal officer.
This is to help also offset our general fund deficiencies, so.
And so we did check with Nathaniel on this, right? We were funded to do that.
I thought you were talking.
I never considered that.
Okay, well, we can. We will then.
No, I mean, it's just a question. I mean, liability and everything, that's my question.
Well, it would be something that would be under the contract with whatever her
My
production
would carry the
company.
liability
It would-
insurance, that's why you would keep it completely separate from.
So this has nothing to do with the township.
Correct.
You just get the
We
donation.
would just be the beneficiary.
So we're not associated with it at all. We're
No.
not putting on their Perry Township bicentennial.
Now, we can be named as a benefactor.
You're not putting on their Perry Township bicentennial.
No, well, I would decide on what we would call it. But Perry Township would not be in any way, shape, or form liable. It would carry its own liability insurance for it because it would be a separate group, a nonprofit organization, that would be an incorporation that would do it. And I mean, you can name it anything you want to, it doesn't matter. As long as Perry Township is not who's in charge of it, Perry Township's not who's putting it on. You're not insuring the event or anything else.
Okay.
It's like when a promotion company or an organization does a fundraiser for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation or for anything like that. They run the event, they're in charge of all of the logistics of it, and they have the liability, and then at the end, they just donate money to whomever they say the benefactor is.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we did in Mauricetown as well. Like, they needed help with some different things. When we did the car show, it was completely separate from Mauricetown. But then we donated money back to help. Like, they needed new swings for the swing set down at their park and certain things like that.
So you're proposing the resolution?
I'm proposing the resolution.
Can I have a second?
Do you wanna run that through Nathaniel first, just to be on the safe side? I think that's smart.
You all do what you're gonna do. It seems a little strange to me that you're wanting to call it a bicentennial, but it's not gonna have anything to do with Perry Township.
Well, it can.
It can. They can still call it a Perry Township celebration because they're going to donate the money to Perry Township in the end. But Perry Township is not the ones running the show.
Right.
They are a separate corporation.
I understand all that, I'm just talking.
My only thing is I don't know that it's anything you should even vote on because it has nothing to do with
Perry Township.
Perry Township. It would be somebody separate
We vote on it.
then if you guys vote on that and designate me that, then it's your guys'
Right.
thing.
Right.
Versus my incorporation of a nonprofit doing it.
So out of good
To
to your heart,
benefit
you're gonna put this on and you're gonna donate the money to.
Correct. But if you guys vote on that, then you're making it your thing versus a separate thing.
That's what we had talked about originally, was that, but it's the work session.
That would be my only concern with you guys voting on it is then in your minutes that you guys voted on it to put me in charge of it, and then that allows you.
Yeah, I didn't think you needed to, but you
Yeah.
guys said we had to make a resolution.
Yeah, I would talk to Nathaniel and ask him how he thinks that should go, but in my opinion of how it's been done before, I wouldn't vote on it, because then it's,
Right.
you're assuming partial liability of it.
Would you like to reach out to Nathaniel?
I can.
And I have no problem coming back and telling you guys, you know, what we're doing, how it's going, or even having one of you guys be a part of the committee or anything like that, but it would be completely separate from your position here.
And I'm not for sure if we need a resolution to post for the zoning position in the Brookville Star. Probably so.
Wait a minute, you got a motion on the floor.
Never say.
Oh, I can withdraw it. I withdraw that resolution suggestion. It wasn't actually a motion on the floor, it was a suggestion of a resolution, so however we need to dismiss that.
Just rescind it.
So,
I make a motion that we, post this, office assistant zoning official job in the start for a period of 2 weeks.
I second that.
Mears,
Yes.
Hartshorn,
Yes.
Lynn,
yes.
so just to recap, Jason, I'll give you the handicap ramp
Right.
contact information, and Mindy, you'll be reaching out to Nathaniel?
Yeah. And I'm asking him specifically if we need to have a resolution or motion to appoint Kristen, or if she can move forward on her own, is that correct?
And the liability, yes.
Okay, road and center.
Our cemetery is level grade, it's got tree limbs, new cemetery mower in shop for maintenance for the summer season, get it ready to go. 30 days to be mown grass, give or take. We do have to cut them stumps off on the 14 trees we did cut down. We still gotta do that in the cemeteries. As far as roads, we finished up Heckathorn Road, as far as trimming roadside ditches. We got mow trim, and started up on Providence Road, and that'll take me a little while up there to do that. But in the process, we've had a few funerals here, and we've got one Friday, got one Saturday, so I'm gonna dig them probably Thursday. Happen Drive, met with a resident down there, and we gotta replace her driveway culvert. The culvert's rusting out, there's a hole in the middle of her driveway, so went down there, got the necessary measurements and called it in, and she came in and paid for the material, and we'll put it in. We checked and cleaned out ditch drains the other day, and I also then have a quote from Concord Equipment for a CRE 960 under tailgate cross conveyor burning machine. We were using our salt spreaders in the summertime with 9-inch augers. Well, they were about 25 years old, and they were about wore out. And the only thing we can run through them anyway is 411s, which is small gravel. And we've been using what we can of the grindings when I get a hold of them. Cost saves the township money, plus it holds better. And so I'd like to purchase that under tailgate spreader, which would be the standard box instead of stainless steel standard, since we're just putting gravel through it. With which there's a system on it. When you dump the bed, it keeps the box level, not tilt back with it, and it'd be $7,800. 7,800. And it's a 170-day build time. Okay. They're a little behind. I'd like to know if trustees would allow me to purchase that.
I'll make a motion for Mike to make that purchase.
And that is government bid.
Glenn?
Yes.
Mears?
Yes.
Hartshorn?
Yes.
And that price, we will go pick it up, because if they trade it up, they charge you $1,900 just to trade it up. And then the shipping on top of that.
Where do you have to go to pick it up?
Painesville. It's about a 3-hour trip, but still I think I can do it about $450 versus $1,900 plus shipping.
I did have a question about the cemetery.
Yes.
What's our current opening and closing costs?
$700.
$700
During the week. During the week.
Okay.
Yes. Before $215.
Is that pretty much market rate in this?
It is around the area.
Okay. The only reason I was asking was like I said, I've been looking at how money comes into the township,
Right.
and that's one of the very few ways that a lot of townships that don't have a lot of money coming into the general fund offset a bit, so I wasn't sure where we were with that.
Well, we just raised prices there.
Okay.
And there's kind of a fine line. You got to watch that you don't outprice yourself.
No, exactly. That's what I wanted to make sure. Is I didn't know what the price was.
Yeah, I mean, we're somewhat close to Clay. We're above Twin Township, Broward County, which is our neighbor to the west, and we're comparable to German Township, Bear Creek. So I do call around and see where everybody's at each time, but we're right there.
Okay. And that's like an annual? Is that an annual adjustment that we make, or is it quarterly?
Right. No, by year to year.
Year? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you receive the price sheet? I think you requested that and I emailed it to you.
You did.
Okay.
And it's in my email somewhere, but I had a note to remind myself
Okay.
to ask.
But there's different prices. You got after 2:15, you got weekends, holidays,
Right.
AM, PMs, inside, outside township.
Okay. Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, is there any
Okay. That quick. Usually, I'll ask, and I'll usually give a timeline that in April, May, June, July, August, I'll be taking some days off. So.
Do we know any dates or any idea of when Heckathorn Road is going to be closed again?
Or,
Is it not being repaved?
no, it's Keener Road and Sheep Road this year, issue 2.
Okay.
Just got sealed and cracked.
Yeah, crack sealed.
Okay.
That won't be closed.
Okay. But when is Keener?
Keener will probably be starting as soon as the weather breaks.
Okay.
I would say Adventure, because that was supposed to be on the books last year and it got too late because they didn't get poles moved. So that'll be on the books plus Sheep Road.
The sheep is coming up relatively soon.
Be fall probably,
Oh, really? Okay.
because they have to go out for bids in July.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions for Mr. Press? Okay, and Kate's not here, and I think JP, you have Kate for Mr. Christmas report.
Yes. So, trash second quarter 2020 trash bills were mailed at the end of March. Zoning permits issued last month's meeting for a pole barn and an accessory building. BZA meeting held on March 5th regarding lot split. Chuck Sweet resigned from the BZA on March 4th of 2020. BZA second alternate, additional names, Ron Price, Dave Streck, Mike Ramsey. Zoning Commission meeting scheduled for March 19th, 2020. On February 25th, Kate met with prosecuting attorney Greg Spears at the New Lebanon courts to begin action for a zoning violation at 13282 Little Richmond Road. And that's all that Kate had.
Okay. And, Chief Wilson?
Since the last township meeting, police department's been pretty busy. There's quite a bit of calls for service here that I want to get through. Since the last meeting, we've issued 11 citations, had 1 DWOC call, 1 homicide, 2 identity thefts, 3 animal at large calls, a found property, 2 theft calls, 3 miscellaneous, 4 traffic crashes, 6 disabled vehicles, 3 suicide attempts, 1 menacing, 1 individual arrested on a warrant, 1 domestic violence, 1 welfare check, 3 suspicious circumstances, 6 medic assist, 7 assist to outside agencies, 7 residential alarm drops, 2 peace officer calls, a hit skip crash, and 8 requests for the use of the K9. Last month, I had a typo in my report where I requested Brian Douglas to be given a pay raise up to $15.50. I overlooked his paperwork, and he's past his 1-year mark, which he needs to be moved up according to that to the $16 an hour. So I asked that a resolution be passed to move him up to the $16 an hour rate with the effective date of starting of yesterday.
Move a motion to accept the pay raise as submitted.
I'll second. Hartshorn?
Yes.
Wynn? Yes. Mears? Yes.
The Easter egg hunt is coming up on Saturday, April the 11th at 1 o'clock out at the Overlook Park. Saturday, March the 21st, we will be opening the doors here for the community to come in and help with stuffing of the Easter eggs. Again, that was a big success last year. I had a lot of people calling and emailing, wanting to know when this was happening again. So March the 21st from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we'll also repeat that on Saturday, April the 4th, same times from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The department, we have scheduled our trainings throughout the year. On top of the department trainings that I require, officers have signed up and been approved for additional individual